Right now at noon, a house fire near Carthage results in extensive damage.
And we've got ourselves some more sunshine out there. However, we got some changes on the way as well. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
Plus, why the month of January is nicknamed Divorce Month. We hear from a family law attorney on why so many people get divorced after the holidays.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. In today's top story, a house fire in Carthage sent multiple first responders to help put it out. At about 11 p.m. Tuesday night, reports of a house fire north of Gum Road on County Road 105 alerted Jasper County E911. Upon arrival, Carthage Fire observed smoke and flames, but reported that everyone was out of the home safely. Utilities were cut to the residence, so the occupants are displaced. Neighbors tell us the home suffered extensive damage. This is a developing story. We'll be sure to keep you updated as new details become available. And authorities in Arkansas say an off-duty police officer working as a security guard shot a suspected thief at a Little Rock Walmart on New Year's Eve. Police say the man pulled a knife and cut the officer when the officer tried to take him into custody. The officer pulled out his gun and ordered the man to stand down. According to police, when the man continued to advance toward the officer fired. The man later died at the hospital, and the officer was hospitalized and released. The Little Rock Department is conducting an internal investigation, and a separate criminal investigation is also underway. Missouri Governor Mike Parson issues a ban on Chinese-owned agricultural land near critical military facilities. The ban covers individuals and businesses from nations designated as foreign adversaries from buying agricultural land within a 10-mile radius of critical military facilities in Missouri. Nations currently classified as foreign adversaries include China, Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Russia, and Venezuela. And a vandalism at a local shooting range leads to its closure. Fredonia Police Department announced on their Facebook page that, quote, due to persons destroying the range will be closed to the public effective 1/2/2024. Anyone caught on the property will be prosecuted for trespassing. And the portal that allows anyone anywhere to search Kansas District Court cases over the internet is back online, but its information is temporarily out of date while courts work to input case information filed on paper. The portal is one of several information systems temporarily incapacitated by an October 12th cyber attack. Not only does the portal provide court information, it also allows court users to pay fines, fees, and costs online. And Ascension Via Christi in Pittsburgh's first baby of 2024 arrived on January 2nd. 6-pound, 11-ounce Parker Kate, born to Camry and Calvin, arrived at 11:26 a.m. As the New Year's baby, Parker and her parents received a gift basket provided by the Mount Carmel Auxiliary. Welcome to the world, Parker, and congratulations, Camry and Calvin, on your beautiful new family addition.
Yeah, we've had a little more sunshine out there today. The Skywatch Storm Tracker earlier this morning showing some of those clouds working in from the north. The bulk of the clouds staying off to our south, so that's why today is going to be a mostly clear to partly cloudy day. Earlier today, our camera on the Cornell complex, once the sun started to get through some of that fog we had this morning, we had clear skies and just a beautiful start to the day, albeit cold. Yesterday started at 21, so not far off of where we should be, and our high, we made it up 46, a whole degree above average. So can't beat those temperatures because we know it could be a lot worse around here. Temperature's going to hold on to average as we head through the next few days, and they've been below average. Look at Monday. We were 38, made it up to average yesterday. We're expecting average again today and tomorrow. Friday's going to be a little cooler. Friday, we're also keeping an eye on some wintry weather as well. So that's a great opportunity to remind you, if you don't already have the KOAM Skywatch weather app, take an opportunity to download it now, because if you are away from your TV or if you're out and about, whatever the case may be, you've got the entire Skywatch weather team and all the latest weather data and alerts right there in the palm of your hand to remind you to get home and watch the TV. We're going to keep you updated on the wintry weather for Friday and another system we're watching by next Tuesday here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, for most, the month of January is focused on the new year and resolutions, but for those in the legal field, January holds the nickname Divorce Month. We have more on the nickname as well as tips from a family law attorney.
Divorce is often a New Year's resolution, getting a fresh start.
Annette Cox Sandoval has seen a steady stream of divorce clients, but it usually ramps up in January when the courts reopen after the holidays.
I think that 2024 is going to be much like all the years since COVID, to be honest. The divorce rate really hasn't slowed down.
The family law attorney says financial stress sometimes plays a role in how quickly people file for divorce. She expects that to continue in the new year. But in a tricky housing market, it sometimes requires some finessing.
Parties sometimes decide to stay on the mortgage and stay on the title for a little bit longer, even though they would be divorced, in order to avoid the higher interest rates and kind of the sluggish sales market.
Divorce usually has a negative connotation, but Cox Sandoval says it shouldn't, because ending something negative can be one of the most positive changes you can make.
It is a solution to a person's kind of life problems or their marriage problems. And so I think in that way, it's a positive.
Her advice to avoid getting to this point is to prepare yourself and your partner legally before entering into a marriage.
It never hurts to talk with an attorney prior to getting married about doing a prenuptial agreement.
And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in the 4 states region. Up next on KOAM News at Noon. Are you feeling a little under the weather? Well, you're not alone. We'll have the latest on the respiratory illnesses going around and how you can protect yourself. And later, we're making loaded egg clouds in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Stay tuned. This morning, health officials are issuing a warning about how a rise in respiratory viruses could soon impact hospitals nationwide. According to the CDC, more than half of the country is seeing a spike in COVID, flu, and RSV. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest.
New year, same worries as COVID hospitalizations nationwide are at the highest level since last February.
It's concerning in the sense that the volume of patients is higher.
COVID hospitalizations at St. Joseph's Medical Center in Paterson, New Jersey, more than triple compared to a month ago. Across the country in Los Angeles, cases up by 25%. Nationwide, emergency room visits and deaths also on the rise from last week alone.
They are sicker, especially patients that are the most vulnerable, that have comorbid disease, things like cancer or respiratory disease.
And it's not just COVID. Doctors are also seeing more cases of the flu and RSV. 31 states are reporting high or very high levels of various respiratory illnesses. The uptick leading hospitals in several states and Washington, D.C. to bring back masking requirements.
It really helps to protect the vulnerable people that are sitting out there in the waiting room right now.
The CDC says one contributing factor to the rise in illnesses is people haven't been keeping up with vaccinations. Fewer than 50% of adults are vaccinated for the flu, even fewer for COVID. With cases of all three likely to have spread as people got together over the holidays, health officials say pay attention to symptoms like coughing, fever, or fatigue.
If you are getting sick, one of the best things you can do from there, in addition to taking care of yourself, is limit how many other people you expose.
In other words, stay home if you can. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
According to CDC data, 6 flu-related pediatric deaths happened in the last week of 2023. And House Speaker Mike Johnson and around 50 other Republican lawmakers are visiting America's southern border today to highlight the U.S. migrant crisis. It comes as crossings have dropped after reaching an all-time monthly high in December. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
CBS News obtained exclusive access to a border facility in Eagle Pass, Texas, one of the busiest entry points in the country. It's set to reopen Thursday after being shut down for the past 2.5 weeks because officials say they did not have the manpower or resources to process the sheer number of asylum seekers who crossed the border in December.
The border is an absolute catastrophe, and this is because of the policies of this White House and this administration.
House Speaker Mike Johnson, who has long criticized the Biden administration's handling of the border crisis, is leading a large group of Republican lawmakers to Eagle Pass today. The Biden administration slammed the group, accusing them of hamstringing border security in the name of extreme partisan demands.
We have a broken immigration system that is the one single fact about which everyone agrees.
CBS News has learned the White House is open to major policy changes on asylum law in exchange for aid for Ukraine. Over the holiday break, negotiations have continued among a bipartisan group of senators trying to reach a deal on immigration.
This is very hard. We've put some really serious proposals on the table.
Meantime, major cities across the U.S. struggle with the massive influx of migrants. In downtown Denver, tents line the streets. This man says he's waiting to be taken to a shelter. Local officials say the goal is to get migrants housing, but their resources are being strained. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
One senior border official tells CBS News that he estimates in the Eagle Pass sector, the smugglers are making $32 million per week off of people who pay them for illegal transit into the U.S. 40% of those crossing are families, according to Border Patrol. Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
If you're looking for a healthy way to jumpstart your day with a breakfast that's out of this world, we've got it coming up next.
But first, as we mentioned, we are tracking some wintry weather on the way. We'll take a look at that full forecast when the KOAM News at Noon returns. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So after a pretty cold start out there, we are going to start to trend a little better. Another average day pretty much. Monday, one of our coldest days this week so far, but we've been doing all right since then. Skywatch Storm Tracker from this morning showing a few clouds rolling into our northern counties, the thicker, bulkier clouds all down to our south. So today, this is why we'll be mostly clear to partly cloudy, so it's not going to be too bad. We're going to see a little bit more sunshine out there. Take a look. This is the MoDOT camera from this morning, I-44 range line looking east. You can see the haze of the fog out there obscuring the sunrise from this morning. And from our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin, once that fog began to lift, it started to look great. Clear skies out there. Again, a chilly start to the day, but not bad. And there was plentiful frost earlier this morning as well on the KDOT camera at 69 East 520th, just south of Pittsburgh. But otherwise, again, not too bad of a start for the day for us. Now, as we mentioned today, highs about average, mid-40s, a few clouds out there, northeast breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we head into this evening, clouds are going to gradually increase across the area. It's cold, but seasonable again as we go back into the upper 20s across the area, partly cloudy skies, and that northeast breeze at about 5 to 10. Tomorrow is Thursday. And so this is Friday's forecast, and that's my fault. But on Friday, we're expecting 40 degrees and a wintry mix with minor accumulations possible, east breeze 5 to 10. For Thursday, we're expecting more clouds, but actually warmer temperatures as we get a little closer to 50 degrees. So I apologize for that, but that's okay. Now you know what we're expecting Friday. Then we go into Monday. Monday, we're expecting highs in the mid-50s. We'll see rain initially, but it doesn't take long as temperatures quickly fall out there. Take a look at this behemoth of a system. We've got snow stretching from St. Louis, Kansas City, Wichita, Dodge City, all the way back west to Denver, and it does begin to impact us. Wintry mix initially, and then it begins to transition to a mostly snow event as we go overnight and into early Tuesday morning. And look at that snow shield out there. This snow, here we are at 12:30 on Tuesday, continuing across the area, and there's the potential for heavy snow. Now, we're still several days away. I want to emphasize this very much. There's going to be 100 tweaks to this forecast as we get closer. But so far, and I'll be honest, they've been fairly consistent, at least about us getting snow. As for amounts, we're still too far out to say for sure, but next Monday and Tuesday, definitely want to keep an eye on that forecast because we could potentially see some heavy snow as we get into next week. In the short term, here's what we're looking at now, and even this will be tweaked as we go through the rest of today and into our Thursday. For Friday, we're looking at a dusting up to an inch for most of us. Some of our western counties could get 1 to 2 inches out there. Of course, if the freezing line shifts, if the temperatures get a little warmer, a little colder, there could be some adjustments, but we'll keep you updated on Fridays. But we're still not expecting too terribly much in terms of the way of accumulations for us on our Friday. All right, so again, Thursday, I apologize, mostly cloudy, upper 40s out there. Could see a stray shower or two Saturday, maybe a light snow shower. We warm up Sunday and Monday, so that's why we start with rain. But look at those lows Monday night going back into the teens, and we only make it into the low 30s Tuesday with those snow chances. So again, something we're going to be keeping a close eye on here in the Skywatch Weather Center. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making loaded egg clouds in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. It's time to check in with Howard at the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Today he's making a healthier for you breakfast with his recipe for loaded egg clouds. Take a look.
This time of year, it's hard not to feel bombarded by everyone trying to sell us some type of diet plan or exercise equipment. For some of us, that's just what we need. But for others, it only takes a few weeks before our diet plan is forgotten about and the treadmill ends up being used as a clothing rack. Instead, I like to get on track by weaving a few healthy and tasty recipes into my weekly routine. Like this one. We start by beating some egg whites until they're stiff. To that, we fold in some cooked crumbled turkey sausage, scallions, and diced pimentos. Now we spoon this onto a lined baking sheet. Before popping these into the oven, we make a well in the center of each mound using the back of a spoon. After these get baked for a few minutes, we take them out, place an egg yolk in the well, and back into the oven they go. Once the yolk sets up, they're ready to serve. Yup, big, fluffy, and packed with flavor. Serve each one with some fresh fruit and whole wheat toast, and breakfast is ready. The recipe for what we call our loaded egg clouds is waiting for you on our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a lighter than air way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
To find this recipe along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. Now here's a look at your 4 state market prices.
All right, we're looking at upper 40s for us on our Thursday. Clouds increasing. Light rain, snow mix for us on our Friday. Minor accumulations possible. We're going to warm up heading into Sunday and Monday. Rain chances increasing Monday and keeping an eye on that snow potential by next Tuesday. Take a look. Monday we go from the mid-50s to the teens for our lows, and we're only in the upper or the low 30s for Tuesday.
All right, and Dow, what do you have for us?
Well, a lot coming up at 5. For starters, major new developments in the Middle East. A senior Hamas commander has been killed in an explosion in Beirut. Plus, the grocery tax in Kansas has dropped with the new year. We're going to check in with local businesses about the transition. And it's still respiratory illness season in the 4 states. We're going to tell you what local health experts are seeing in our community. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up on KOAM News at 5.
And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. Have a great rest of your day.